Hi, this is Hobbs from Woodinville Day Camp. This is a video to help you review how to talk to your campers. The first question I have for you today is, how do you get attention from the unit when you're not being heard? Some people are really great about having a loud voice, but sometimes campers can be chatty or it's hard to gain their attention. What tools do you have in your toolbox to help you be heard? One thing you might think about is say the 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. You could also try using the quiet coyote sign. Sometimes just hand signals create interest and difference of variety for them to pay attention to you. Clapping hands and beat, you might try something like, and then the campers will echo. You might try raising your hand high or even trying a gentle whistle. You might also try, say, if you can hear me, clap your hands once. If you can hear me, clap your hands twice. And the audience or children will echo you. That's a really great one, and it seems to get louder as people continue to clap. You might also try tapping the shoulder of those not listening to you, or make eye contact after tapping a student or a camper on the shoulder. During COVID, maybe you could use a pool noodle or something else to gently get their attention. You might also say something like, "Can I have your attention, please?" Remember to not yell and keep calm. You'll have a habit of just getting louder. Don't forget, you can also seek out help. Maybe you ask another leader in your unit or station, or even reach out for core if you're having a lot of challenges. One of my favorites is using proximity, which is going near the people or the campers that are not doing the great job of listening. You might remind them with the quiet sign or point to where they should be focused. These are just a few ideas to help you be heard. What other ideas do you have, or what works for you? Our next question, how do I deal with a camper if they boss, tease, or bully others? This is never fun to deal with, but it happens at camp. Sometimes you've got some campers that are having a rough time and they start picking on each other, or maybe they're unaware their behavior is not really coming off very well. So one of the things I like to do is I pull the campers aside to discuss it quietly. Making a point to draw attention to them out loud in front of the group is usually not helpful, and you'll actually probably cause more damage or embarrass them, and then they'll react maybe more. Politely break up the arguments and remind campers that we can talk nice to each other. It's always best to get both sides of the story. Try to discover the cause and try to work it out. You can always ask them if they can work it out or if they need help from you. Don't forget to ask the victim what's going on and ask like, are you okay? Is this an issue? What's going on? But also talk to the camper doing the bullying and ask them what's going on. Do you know why you did that? Getting both sides will help you get down to the bottom of why this is going on. Sometimes you might have to discuss feelings between campers when appropriate. You might try something like, you did fill in the blank, and it made me feel blank. You did, or you pushed Sarah, and it didn't make me feel very safe. Proximity is a great thing again. You might try using proximity. Keep your space closer to the person that's either maybe doing the bullying or being the bully, and keep a close eye on the problem. Sometimes putting one of your unit leaders kind of more in charge of watching that camper may be helpful. You can also separate campers or create space between them at stations or lunch, etc. You might try mixing up your buddies or say, hey, Sarah, why don't you come sit by me today? So the next one actually says sit with the bully or the victim. Giving them a little more attention in a discreet way may help break those challenges. You might also actually discuss how their actions can really cause harm. Again, doing this quietly and pulling them aside is going to be the best practice. Please report it to the leader or an adult or core. Don't let things go on for too long. Also, try telling the victim it's okay to tell me if this happens again, or let me know if it happens again. It's also okay to say, hey, that's not nice. It hurts feeling is not friendly. Can you please stop? Or tell them it has to stop, and it's not okay to treat our fellow Girl Scouts that way. Don't forget to use your group agreement and the camp behavior agreement that we have. Our next question is, how do you deal with the camper that is too clingy or hanging on me? This can be a challenge for a lot of our teenagers. From the beginning, set the boundaries at the beginning of the week and try to stick to it. Did your unit cover this during your group agreement? It's never too late to discuss respecting my bubble. Also, if you're going to allow it from one camper, you're going to probably need to allow it from all of them. It's okay to tell them your boundaries on holding hands, piggyback rides, hugs, etc. A lot of that won't really be a problem during COVID since we need to keep our space, but you might also need to use some phrases like, sorry, but I need a break right now. I don't want to be touched right now. Can you please give me some space? Or maybe remind them, sorry, you're in my personal bubble and that's too close. Or you might even try, I'm so sorry, but I'm too tired right now for piggyback rides or hugs. Something you might also do is find other ways of interacting. Maybe use a side bump, a high five, or line leaders next to you. During COVID, consider foot taps, where they tap each other's front of the toes together. Maybe elbow bumps, or maybe even air high fives. Creativity will get you a long ways. Campers love interactions. You could try to make up a special handshake or fist bump, or some sort of air handshake from afar. Pull campers aside and kindly tell them how you are feeling and that you like them, but it just needs to stop. Also, encourage them to be more social with all of their peers instead of you, the teens, whether you're a PAT, a PA, or an adult. The next challenge you might have is, what do you do if your unit only wants to play or do the same thing? And this can happen, where your girls will get kind of tired or only want to do one thing. So what do? What if the campers don't want to play the current game? Maybe you tell them you want to share a new and fun game. Don't forget to try to sell the game and how much fun it is. Tell them, we're going to try a new game and also involve the adults or PAs or PATs to play the game to help gain interest. You might tell them, we'll get back to your favorite game again soon. Or you might try saying, it's time to play another game. Your peers voted on playing. We want to make sure everyone gets a chance to play their favorite game. Have your campers vote on choices, then rotate through the top games. It's great to have variety, and then each kid gets their say. Could you also split your camp unit in two and run 2 different games at the same time? This is really good when you want to play maybe an active game with kids that want to be more boisterous and move, and then maybe you have some kids that are tired that want more of a sit-down, quiet game. Also, if you've found some games that are fun and working with your group, you might try similar games that were successful. All of these things will definitely change with the age group you're working with. Here's a few more ideas for engaging cooperation with campers. What do you do when it gets tough? Number 1, give choices. Give 2 choices you're willing to offer. Don't ever throw something you don't want to do in there. It might sound like this. L, you can pick up your trash now, or you can pick up your trash once you have your backpack on. Which would you like to do? It gives the kid the power, but you're also in charge and getting the result that you want. Mia, you can walk with your buddy in our group, or you can walk with me. Again, you're giving choices, and the kid will have the ability to think about it. Number 2, try humor. Maybe try using a funny voice to get attention or when giving a request. Maybe you've got a good robot voice or a country accent. Maybe it sounds something like, I sure do like it, Sarah, when you stay with the group. Maybe you can do better than me. Something to avoid is sarcasm. Kids don't always get it. Number 3, ask the child to help you problem solve to come up with a solution. It might sound something like, hey, let's put our heads together to see if we can come up with some ideas that would be good for both of us. Number 4, compliments and praise. Positive reinforcement really goes a long way. Maybe it sounds like, I love how engaged you all were at the station. Or maybe it sounds like, I liked how Lily waited to be called upon when the leader was asking questions. These are great examples, and students and campers love positive reinforcement. Number 5, model the behavior you would like to see. Nice job, Olivia, getting in line when I asked, versus picking on the kids that don't ever get in line. Maybe they'll want to be like Olivia, getting in line and getting the positive reinforcement. Number 6, use distraction. Oh yeah, we get to go to fire next. How much fun, and there are flush potties on the way. That might help you get them more engaged. Number 7, seek out help. Maybe work inside your unit to figure out what to do, or find core or a PA coordinator to help you. We are ready to help you problem solve. Take the camper for a break if needed, or we can call home. The activity to think about is in your groups or by yourself, discuss or think about what other things can you think of, or what has worked in the past to help with camper engagement.